China's third aircraft carrier, the Fujian, has been commissioned. Chief Executive Zhang Li says the government will host election forums for each constituency. And COP30 is held in Brazil as countries discuss climate change. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. China's third aircraft carrier, the Fujian, the first domestically designed and built carrier, has been commissioned at a naval base in Sanya City on Hainan Island. The Fujian is also the first to have catapult launch capability for fighter jets. President Xi Jinping attended its commissioning ceremony on Wednesday. Danny Zhou reports.
The Fujian's commissioning ceremony was attended by 2,000 representatives from the Navy and institutions involved in its construction work. The Guard of Honor escorted the August 1st flag and presented it to President Xi Jinping, who then presented the flag to the captain and posed for a group photograph. Xi boarded the Fujian for an inspection tour to hear work reports. On the flight deck, the president communicated with pilots of the shipborne aircraft. This was followed by a display of the catapult launch with new generation carrier-based warplanes. Xi told soldiers that they should keep improving their professional skills and combat capabilities. He said it takes immense courage to conduct test flights and hailed them as heroes. Bearing the whole number 18, the aircraft carrier is named after the southeastern province of Fujian and was launched in June 2022. It has a flat, straight flight deck and features a full displacement of over 80,000 tons. The Fujian is the first carrier in the world to feature an electromagnetic catapult system powered by conventional fuel for speeding up the takeoffs of fighter jets. The carrier underwent sea trials in May 2024 and completed the first catapult takeoff drill this September. Its entry of service marks a significant step forward for China's naval defense, along with the country's two Russian-designed carriers, the Liaoning and the Shandong. Danny Zhou, TVB News.
Chief Executive Zhang Li says the government will host election forums for each constituency starting next week, as it steps up preparations for the Legislative Council election. Writing on his social media page, the city leader says there are 30 days left until the polling day. The city leader had chaired another coordination meeting for the Electoral Election Task Force, stressing that the government will work to ensure the election is held in a fair and open way. He says with intense competition, all candidates have to put their best foot forward. He adds that the election this time is not about smearing or personal attacks, but a high-quality and healthy race in which contenders will demonstrate the patriots administering Hong Kong principle. The Independent Commission Against Corruption arrested 13 bank employees suspected of accepting bribes to assist intermediaries in defrauding the government of $140 million in SME loans. The ICAC says they earlier discovered that some intermediaries were recruiting individuals to impersonate SME owners and apply for the 100% government-guaranteed loans. The corruption watchdog says the intermediaries bribed the bank employees, instructing them to ignore forged documents and expedite loan approvals. The intermediaries would give 10% of the approved loan amount to the bank employees and the individuals posing as SME owners. Last week, the ICAC, together with the police, arrested 32 people, including 13 frontline bank employees working at 10 banks and 7 employees of the intermediary companies. The ICAC says after intervention, some of the approvals and funds have been intercepted. Sources say police have arrested 3 people in connection with yesterday's knife attack on customs officers in To Kwa Wan. Police believe the trio assisted in the escape of the attacker. Samantha Lee has the details.
The crime scene. A flat in owner building, signs of a struggle remain, broken wood panels, an upturned storage box, and items scattered all over the floor. A kitchen window was left open. The incident happened late Thursday afternoon when 7 customs officers were conducting an anti-narcotics operation in the unit. A man in the apartment suddenly attacked 2 officers with a kitchen knife. Another officer was also injured. All victims are in stable condition. Sources say the suspect in his 30s jumped down to a light well on the ground floor from a fifth-floor kitchen window before the police broke into the flat. It is understood that some drugs were discovered in a warehouse nearby, together with a vehicle registered to the suspected attacker. At midnight last night, police intercepted a car on Argyle Street where they arrested a man. Another person was apprehended in Kowloon City. The pair was suspected to have aided the suspect to flee. A woman understood to be the attacker's mother was also arrested this afternoon on suspicion of misleading police. Samantha Lee, TVB News.
Many world leaders push back on U.S. climate denial at COP30 in Brazil. The UN Secretary General tore into nations for failure to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees, saying we can lead or be led to ruin. Chinese Vice Premier Ding Xuexiang attended on behalf of President Xi Jinping. He said China will undergo a comprehensive green transformation. David Garrett reports.
These indigenous people hand in hand and in step to highlight the protection needed for the Amazon, a rainforest home to 1,000 different plants and animals. A fake snake was paraded around the venue of COP30 as these dancing activists say their habitat is under threat. The UN's climate change meeting held this year for the first time in the affected Amazon. The city of Belém surrounded by a lush emerald green festooned with winding rivers. Around a fifth of the Amazon's forest, though, has vanished in half a century, swallowed up by farming, logging and mining. Called the lungs of the world because it can absorb vast quantities of greenhouse gases, warming the planet, other protests projected slogans onto buildings, warning of the consequences of inaction. Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva is leading the pushback. He encouraged those gathered to produce results. We wanted people to come here to see what the Amazon is, he said. Joined by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who bemoaned countries for not limiting global warming, Lula announcing a contribution of $5 billion, mostly from Norway and Indonesia, for his main thrust of the conference, which is a fund to pay poorer countries to preserve their forests. Lula welcomed Britain's representatives, who also pushed for immediate action.
The melting of polar ice, the loss of the Amazon, the disruption of ocean currents. These are not distant threats. They are fast approaching and will affect every one of us, no matter where we live. This here at COP30 is our moment. Let us not waste it. Our children and grandchildren are watching and hoping.
The only question was how fast could we go? Today, sadly, that consensus is gone, with some arguing that this isn't the time to act.
Starmer did not mention the US or Trump by name. Others did. Chile was one. Colombia's President Gustavo Petro also took a swipe at America for ignoring climate change, not sending a delegation and opting out of agreements.
Denegación de la ciencia.
The absence of Mr. Trump shows he personally denies science and leads a blind society. It is alarming. Gutierrez also said too many leaders remain captive to entrenched interests. David Garrett, TVB News.
And still ahead, this year's Hong Kong Winterfest will kick off next Friday. Nancy Pelosi will now seek re-election to the U.S. House of Representatives. And activities are held to commemorate the anniversary of the uprising of the two airlines. Welcome back. This year's Hong Kong Winterfest, organized by the Tourism Board, will kick off next Friday. The 3-week-long festivity is set to turn Central into a sparkling Christmas town. Here's a sneak peek.
3, 2, 1.
Christmas may be more than a month away, but Hong Kong's festive cheer is poised to take off. From November 14th to January 4th, Central will transform into a dazzling Christmas town, complete with a 20-meter Christmas tree at Statue Square and a cozy festive village to match. From November 28th, visitors can stroll through a Christmas market made up of 12 wooden chalets and enjoy a starlit walk under 30 trees adorned with festive sparkles along Chater Road. For the first time, 8 central landmarks including the Bank of China Tower, the Court of Final Appeal, and HSBC's main building will be illuminated in a nightly 3D light and music show. The tourism board says this year's Christmas town won't be set in the West Kowloon Cultural District because Central is easier to reach.
Central is centrally located and well connected with different modes of public transport. Number 2 will be the diversity and also convenience and concentration of different entertainment, dining and shopping facilities available.
By transforming Central into a Christmas town and a starlit boulevard, we are not just decorating our streets, we are activating a district.
The tourism board will also roll out a one-stop platform allowing tourists and locals to easily browse the Winterfest programs and special offers. This, as the Hong Kong Tourism Board is also teaming up with the Quality Tourism Services Association and the Hong Kong Retail Management Association, rolling out over 300 dining, shopping, attraction and transport offers in December till early January, including buy one, get one free deals. Nancy Pelosi has announced that she will not seek re-election to the U.S. House of Representatives. Pelosi says she would finish out her final year in office. She left with a call to action to carry on the legacy of agenda setting both in the U.S. and around the world. During her tenure, Pelosi gained a reputation as a defender of human rights. It was her work in helping former President Barack Obama win enactment of the 2010 Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare, that she sees as her greatest accomplishment. Pelosi consistently focused on human rights issues in China. During the 2019 Hong Kong anti-extradition bill protests, Pelosi pushed for sanctions against Hong Kong. In 2022, Pelosi visited Taiwan, which was criticized by China as provocation, leading to sanctions against her. U.S. President Donald Trump reacted to the news of Pelosi's decision by launching a scathing attack on her legacy.
I think she's an evil woman. I'm glad she's retiring. I think she did the country a great service by retiring. I think she was a tremendous liability for the country. I thought she was an evil woman who did a poor job, who cost the country a lot in damages and in reputation. I thought she was terrible. Thank you very much.
Elon Musk won a shareholder vote that would give the Tesla CEO stock worth $1 trillion if he hits certain performance targets over the next decade. More than 75% of voters approved the plan as shareholders gathered in Austin, Texas for their annual meeting. The board of directors that designed the pay package require him to hit several ambitious financial and operational targets. These include increasing the value of the company on the stock market, nearly 6 times its current level. Musk has to deliver 20 million Tesla electric vehicles to the market over 10 years amid new stiff competition. Today is Li Dong, meaning the beginning of winter in Chinese, which marks the first day of winter on the Chinese calendar. The city's weather was mainly cloudy with 1 or 2 light rain patches under the influence of the northeast monsoon. Based on the lunar calendar, the winter season started today, but temperatures in various districts reached 25 to 28 degrees Celsius in the afternoon. The observatory says a strong northeast monsoon is affecting the coast of Guangdong. Meanwhile, a severe tropical storm Fengwang has formed east of the Philippines. Will move west-northwest across the western North Pacific. It will enter within 800 kilometers of Hong Kong next week at the earliest. The weather will improve on Saturday and become windier on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday will see a temperature dip to 20 degrees. Events were held to commemorate the 76th anniversary of the uprising of the 2 airlines, an important event in China's aviation history. Individuals who participated in the movement recalled that confidentiality was crucial to its success. Celine Chan tells us more.
This year marks the 76th anniversary of the uprising of the 2 airlines. Deputy Chief Secretary for Administration Warner Churk, along with officials including Secretary for Transport and Logistics Mabel Chan, attended a commemorative event for the movement, which featured a photographic exhibition chronicling the daring operation. As the Chinese Civil War drew to a close in 1949, 12 aircrafts belonging to the nationalist Kuomintang-controlled China National Aviation Corporation and Central Air Transport Corporation executed a carefully orchestrated plan. On November 9th, the aircrafts took off from Hong Kong's Kai Tak Airport, flying north across active battle lines to land in Beijing and Tianjin. This bold defection is called the uprising of the two airlines. Among the honorees were Ding Qingli, who then served as ground crew for the operation. The 100-year-old recounted the meticulous and secretive preparations required and said the vast majority within the companies were unaware of the planned uprising. The operation cut off the Kuomintang's main air supply routes in southwest China, hastening the advance of the People's Liberation Army and the eventual liberation of China. It also provided the foundational technical expertise, equipment, and skilled personnel upon which the new China's civil aviation and aerospace industries were built, propelling the nation's rapid development in this critical sector. In his address, Wonachuk emphasized the enduring legacy of the uprising movement. He said young people should know this monumental chapter in China's aviation history to ensure the heroic deeds and spirit of sacrifice of that generation are passed on. This coming Sunday, the organizers have arranged for a group of patriots to take a flight on the domestically produced C919 aircraft from Hong Kong to Tianjin, retracing the historic route of the uprising of the two airlines. Celine Chan, TVB News.
Before we leave you, another programming note tonight. Our news at 7:30 tomorrow will be aired at 9 p.m. instead to make way for the live broadcast of Honor of Kings KPL, that's King Pro League Grand Finals. Thank you for staying with us and have a great evening.